in our Eternal Wisdom series, we've been learning about Vedas, Vedangas. And in the previous session, we went to explain about a sloka on Krishna from Mukundamala, where all the different Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, the Vibhaktis were applied to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So we will revise a few of the slokas that we learned before we go on to today's session. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalaspatikakritim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivam upasmahe dharme cha arte cha kame cha mokshe cha bharatarshava etihasti tadanyatra yennehasti natad kvachit. This is the sloka to remember all the 10 Upanishads. Ishakena kata prashna munda mandukya tittirihim aitareyancha chandogyam brihadaranyakam tatham. So here we learnt about the different Vedangas all in one sloka. We learnt about Vyakarana, why Vyakarana is important, the cause and effect relationship from Vyakarana all the way. Those of you who want to recollect the explanation, it's all there in our link. You can go and have a recap of that. So this was the sloka which we wanted to conclude in the previous session. So we will learn that and then go on from there. This is a sloka from Mukunda Mala, which is all about eulogizing Bhagavan Sri Krishna as Mukunda. So, Krishno rakshatu no jagatraya guruhu Krishnam namasyamyaham Krishne namara shatravo vinihitaha Krishnaya tubhyam namaha Krishnaya tasmai namaha Krishna deva samuttitam jagaditam Krishnasya dasosmyaham Krishne tishtati sarvametadakilam He Krishna rakshasva mam. So here if we notice our little Krishna is there. How many different ways the word Krishna is used? Karshati iti Krishna. You know, he's all attractive. Just look at the little Krishna. We cannot but fall in love with him, right? So, Akarshati iti Krishna. So, what does Krishna do? Krishno rakshatu. Hey Krishna, protect us. Krishnam namasyamyaham. To that Krishna, I offer my namaskaras. Krishnena. So, Krishnaya, Krishna Deva, Krishnasya, Krishne, Hey Krishna. So, what does all this mean? These are the different cases in Sanskritam. So, you call it as Prathama Vibhakti. Vibhakti, case endings are there. So, Krishna is the word. There are different endings added to it to give the word different meanings itself. So, here if you notice, the Krishna is there. So, Krishna, Krishno, when you split it, it becomes Krishna. So, he, this Krishna, we are speaking about Krishna as a subject here. Krishnam becomes an object there. Krishnam namasyamyaham. I bow to that Krishna. That will be the meaning. Krishnena. So, Krishna there becomes the instrumental case. Krishnaya means something we dedicate to him. Only for Krishna I do this. The namaskara, who else is worth namaskara? Krishnaya tubhyam namaha, right? So, whenever there is a nama padam, it will be Chaturthi Vibhakti. So, the fourth case. So, like this, every single case, Krishnasya dasosmaya. Now, the relationship, the bonding is with Krishna. So, Krishnasya dasa, like that. Whenever you call, you use Krishna. Hey Krishna, Rakshamam, right? So, Hey Krishna comes, right? Many of them by mistake will say Krishna. Krishna will become Draupadi. It will become feminine gender. Krishna. Hey Krishna. Rakshamam. So it is very important to pronounce things properly in Sanskritam. Krishna and Krishna can mean two different things. Okay? Urupu.
கிருஷ்ணனை கிருஷ்ணனால் கிருஷ்ணனுக்கு அப்புறம் கிருஷ்ணனின் அப்புறம் சப்தமி விபக்தி வந்து கிருஷ்ணே ஐயால் குயில் அது கிருஷ்ணனது அப்புறம் ஹே கிருஷ்ணான்னு கூப்பிடுவேன் தமிழ்ல கிருஷ்ணான்னு தமிழ் ஆடம்
Tamil, okay. Kannana or affection. So here, Krishnath is a very interesting thing because Krishnath param kimapi tattvam aham na jane. One Advaitin philosopher, he speaks about aham brahmasmi concept, but he speaks about Krishna, he falls in love and says, Krishnath param kimapi tattvam aham na jane. You know, but for Krishna, we don't know anything else. So Krishnath means from Krishna everything comes, right? Everything comes from Krishna. So in this sloka it says, Krishnath, this entire samuditam jagaditam, everything comes from Krishna, which means he is the creator of all the prapanjas that we know. So everything in one sloka, how beautifully is connected here. So this is what we learnt on the previous session before we concluded. Krishno rakshatu no jagatraya guruhu Krishnam namasyamyaham Krishne namara shatravo vinihitaha Krishnaya tasmai namaha Krishnadeva samuttitam jagaditam Krishnasya dasosmyaham Krishne tishtati sarvametadakilam He Krishna rakshasva mam Krishne tishtati, you know, the seventh vibhakti basically means a place, a location. So even in that, everything stands on Krishna. It is not just he creates it. His sarira is the place for everything to reside. So that concept is also brought in here. Krishne tishtati sarvametad akilam. So hey Krishna, rakshasva mam. So such a beautiful sloka. So in this context, I would like to explore a little bit more on slokas, where the slokas have different interpretations also. For example, all of us are very familiar with the slokam Sri Rama Rama Rameti. Okay? When we recite Sahasranama, we recite Sri Rama Rameti at the end of the Sahasranama. Sri Rama 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 iti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tat Tulyam Ramanama Varanani. So when you say Rama, Rama, Rama 3 times, it is equivalent to saying 1,000 names. So today, you know, in all these debates, people will say, see, in those days, people did not even know mathematics. That is why they say 3 is equal to 1,000. What else can be there, right? Our people knew so much of mathematics, which we can't even comprehend today. So what happened? Rama, Rama, Rama 3 times. How does it become equal to 1,000 names of Bhagavan? So when we say Rama, 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 what happens is Rama, that bhakti bhava multiplies. When we say Rama, you know, you get a feeling of bhakti. What all qualities Bhagavan Sri Rama had. You think about it, you go into that bhakti bhava, and it's like he hugged Guha and said, we become 5 along with you, O Rama. And then he goes to Sugriva, Monkey King, right? And then he says, hey, with you, I have one more brother along with you. Sabari offers these humble fruits. Our Rama is actually the prince of Ayodhya. He goes and eats these humble fruits. So whenever you think what happens, our devotion multiplies, the bhakti bhava multiplies. So when you contemplate on the qualities, Bhagavan's Rama Nama alone gives us all the qualities which we can understand from the 1,000 different names mentioned in Sahasranama. All the names in Sahasranama are Gauna Namas. This is mentioned by Bhishmacharya itself. He says, Yani Namani Gaunani Ityatani Mahatmanaha. So, Yani Namani Gaunani. Gauna means Guna Suchaka Nama. So, whatever are the names which exhibit the qualities of Bhagavan. Rishibhihi Parihitani. Whatever is told by the rishis. I am not creating anything new. says Bhishmacharya. Whatever our great rishis have compiled, I'm just picking up 1,000 from that. I'm compiling it and I'm giving it. But what are these names? These are the names which are Gunasuchaka Nama. Each of these names show us the qualities of Bhagavan. So when we understand Rama Rama Rameti, it means that Rama who came to be an example for us in this world, he had all the qualities which can be exhibited by all the 1,000 names. That is why Rama 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 is equal to Sahasranama. Isn't that beautiful? It does not end there. In Sanskritam, we have a concept which is called as a Katapayadi Sankhya. Katapayadi Sankhya. What Katapayadi Sankhya means is every consonant in Sanskritam has a number associated to it. Ka has a value of 1. Kha has a value of 2. Ga has a value of 3. Like this, every consonant in Sanskritam has a number associated with it. So you can have a look at the chart here. Ka, ta, pa and ya have a value of 1. That is why this Sankhya itself is called as Katapayadi Sankhya. When it's just written in sequence, Ka, ta, pa, ya have a value of 1. Katapa, ya, adi, like this, etc. Sankhya, everything has a number. So if you look at this, what is the value of Ra here? Ra has a value of 2. What about Ma? Ma has a value of 5. Is that right? Ra has a value of 2. Ma has a value of 5. Now Rama as a word is 2 into 5, which is 10. That's why you repeat it 3 times. Rama, Rama, Rama becomes 10 into 10 into 10, which is Sahasranama Tatatulyam. It's equivalent to 1,000 names. So when you apply Katapayadi Sankhya to Sri Rama Rama Rameti, you get Sahasranama Tatatulyam. So Rama repeated 3 times, 3 is equal to 1,000. So that is what is mentioned here. Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatatulyam Sri Rama Nama Varaname. Therefore 3 is equal to 1,000, hence solved, hence proved. Right? So applying Katapayadi Sankhya, our ancestors used to send encrypted messages and all. There are so many things like this. We have something called Bhuta Sankhya. We have something called Katapayadi Sankhya. We have so many interpretations by which numbers were represented in sloka form. They used sloka format because it was easy to memorize. It was easy to share. How can numbers go into slokas? They had many ways. Katapayadi is one of the ways. For this context, we will also go into another sloka. This is a beautiful sloka on Bhagavan Sri Krishna. We started with Krishna, right? So we'll continue with him. So this says, Gopi Bhagya Madhuvrata Shringi Shodhadi Sandhigha Kala Jivita Kathava Galahalara Sandhara. A beautiful sloka. So this speaks about Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who plays with all the gopikas, who crossed the river Yamuna, who danced on top of the Kalinga. So he is adored here as the little Krishna who did so many different leelas. So with all these beautiful traits, oh Krishna, I offer my namaskaras to you who has all these traits. So please bless me, please protect me. Okay. So this sloka, again, at the first look, it looks like a general sloka on Bhagavan Sri Krishna. But this is encrypted sloka. A very good, powerful example of an encrypted sloka. So we will apply Katapayadi Sankhya to this sloka and see what happens. Okay. So again, as I said, every consonant can be, used to have different values. So Gopi, Bhagya. So Ga we saw is 3. Pa is 1. Like that, you apply all the numbers to the sloka. The result is very surprising. When you interpret the numbers, you get a value which looks familiar. What does this value look like? This is the value of pi to 31 decimal digits encrypted in the form of a sloka. So, slokas can have numerical representations. So, let's recite this sloka once. You can repeat after me. Gopi bhagya madhuvrata Shringi shodhadi sandhigha Kalajivita khathava Galahalara sandhara. So this is the sloka where pi value to 31 decimal digits is there. Of course, Aryabhatta, everybody did it much prior to that. This is not that old a sloka, but it's very interesting that slokas can be used to represent numbers that to the value of pi to 31 decimal digits, right? It's very difficult to remember otherwise. But when we remember the slokas, Katapayadi Sankhya also, there are many ways to remember it. There is a sloka on what are the numbers in Katapayadi Sankhya also. So people learn that, they implement in this, they get whatever results they want. Okay. One more application of Katapayadi Sankhya, very interesting. So here, this is a representation of the raga, the Melakarta ragas in music. 72 Melakarta ragas we say. So that is there in Sangeeta Shastra, the traditional Sangeeta Shastra. And here we have mentioned all the names and all the ragas, very interesting. So in Sanskritam, I was mentioning about the Katapayadi Sankhya, right? If you know the Katapayadi Sankhya, you can find out which is the number of this particular raga. Which is the 32nd Melakarta raga? We'll be like, what? You know, or they tell you, okay, I've heard of Maya Malagola. What is the number of Melakarta? You know, I want to know the number. How do we tell that? If you know the Katapayadi Sankhya, you can do that. I'll tell you the technique here. So, our Katapayadi Sankhya is here. We have all the Melakarta ragas. So, what happens is only the first two alphabets, consonants are taken into consideration for us to know the name, the number of the Melakarta raga. So, for example, you have Gayaka Priya. Only Ga and Ya will be taken. So, what is the number of Ga? What is the number for Ga? 3. What is the number for Ya? Ya is 1. So, 3, 1 is there, right? It is encrypted, so you have to reverse it. So, Gayaka Priya is the 13th Melakarta raga. So, Gayaka Priya is 13th. Okay, so let's just play this game. You all can try to interpret this. What is the number of Maya Malagaula? Ma is exactly. Ma is 5. Ya is 1. So it is the 15th Melakarta raga. Perfect. Good. So let us try it for Rama Priya. Rama Priya. Rama. We already know Rama. Rama. Ra is 2. Ma is 5. So 25 is Rama, so you reverse it, 52. So it is 52nd raga. 52nd raga. So let us see. Nataka Priya. I have it on the other side also. Nataka Priya. Nata. Na is 0. Ta is 1. So you reverse it, you get 10th. Nataka Priya is the 10th raga. Bhava Priya. Bhava. Ba is 4. Yeah, 44. So Bhava Priya is 44th raga. So within a minute, all of you are able to say the numbers of the Melakarta ragas. How easy it is. In fact, there are algorithms where you can even say the Arohanam and Avarohanam. Okay, so then it will become music class. So we will stop with this. So this is one way for you to understand the numbering of Melakarta ragas. Right?
One interesting thing is Todi, we know very famous sloka, but the Todi cannot be called Todi. We add another Todi to fit into the
Katapayad. Wonderful. So here, having done the Melakarta ragas, because we are into numbers, everything, I will like to introduce something on the Vedic mathematics context. Okay. So Vedic mathematics is not really that old. It has got its source from the Vedas. That is why people call it as Vedic mathematics. It is not that these mathematic sutras are from the Vedas, no. But it has its roots from the Vedas. That's why they call it as the Vedic mathematics. So let me introduce you to some of the sutras. Ekadikena Purvena. This is the first sutra. There are 16 sutras. Okay. Ekadikena Purvena. What is your name, little chicken? Kanat. So, after I teach this, you will answer the question. Okay. It's going to be very interesting, easy. So, Ekadikena Purvena. So, the meaning is by one more than one before. That is the meaning of the sutra. Okay. I will explain what it means. So you have 16 such sutras. So here, this is used for multiplication of numbers. You can square numbers very easily with this. So let us see. What is 25 into 25? Anybody? 625. What is 95 into 95?
902.
So what happens is, for smaller numbers, it seems okay when the numbers multiply 35 into 35, right? 75 into 75. How do we do? This sutra is applicable in those contexts. So how exactly do we do that? So you look at it. You add 1 to the previous number. For example, you have 3. So instead of using 3, you will say 3 into 4. Okay, 25. You keep that on one side. Okay, and then what you do is the first number, because it is 3, you will add 1 to the previous number. That is what the sutra says. So you will say 3 into 4, which is 12. So 1225 is your answer. So for example, let's just go back to the sutra. 1 added to the previous number. So 25 into 25, all of you knew it was 625. How did we get 625? 5 into 5, 25. Keep it aside. Now, 25 into 25 is there, right? Detain the 2 as it is. To the other 2, add 1. So it will become 3. 2 into 3, 6. 625 is your answer. Let us try 15 into 15. Let's start it small. 15 into 15. 15 square. What will that be? 5 into 5, 25. You already have 1. To the other one, you will add plus 1. So it becomes 2. 2 into 1, 2. The answer is 225. Okay. So now the question to you. What is 45 into 45? 5 into 5 is 25. 4 into 5 is 20. Wow. So, wonderful. 2025 is this year, exactly. So, that is how we actually do the squaring of numbers. So, let's try one more thing. 85 into 85. 5 into 5 is 25. Yeah. So 8 into 9, what will happen? 7 to 5, right? Yes, that's it. Okay. So, let's say 65 into 65, last time. 65 into 65. 5 into 5, 25. 7 into 6, 4225. So that's the way we square numbers. It's so easy. Okay. So ekadikena purvena. That is the sutra. So let's repeat the sutra one more time. Ekadikena purvena. Purvena. So this can be used for numbers which actually total to a whole number. For example, here if you look at the example that I've given, 35 square, 45 square, 25 square, we applied it to that. So 55 square, we apply it to that. Anything which can go closer to a squaring of a number, this can be applied. The other sutra is very interesting. Let us see that sutra also. Nikilam navataha charamam dashataha. Nikilam navataha, all from 9, last from 10. That is the sutra. Nikilam navataha charamam dashataha. Okay. So how does this work? So here, when the numbers are adding up to a whole number like 10 or 100 or 1000 or something like that, but it is not a squaring. For example, I want to do 44 into 46. So when I add it, I get a number which is very close to 100, but it is not a square. Similarly, 37 into 33. Things like this. How do I do it? So what happens is, here it's very interesting. Nikilam navataha charamam dashataha. So 44 into 46 is there. 4 into, that 4 is there, you add a 1 to it. So instead of 4, it will become 4 into 5. Similarly, you have 46, right? So I think I have explained it here. Yeah, I have explained it here. So when the numbers are closer to 100, for example, you have 97 into 94. Both are closer to 100. Okay. So 100, by how much there's a difference between 97 and 100? 3. So 97 plus 3 is 100, right? 94 plus 6 is 100. So what you do is 97 plus 3 is 100. So you put it as 03 because you want 2 decimal digits. 94, 06, you want 2 decimal digits again. So after this step, it's very easy. You do a 3 into 6. That will be your last 2 numbers. Okay. So you have 97. Because it is lesser than 100, you have to subtract 6. So 97 into 6 you will do. Okay. That will be the first 2 digits. So your answer here will be 3 into 6, 18. So here 97 minus 6. So 9112 will be your answer. 18 will be your answer. 9118 will be your answer. Very straightforward. Let's see an example where it is slightly more than 100. Okay. So 104, by how much it is more than 104? 102, it's by 2. So what you do is 4 into 2 is 08, right? So last 2 digits will be 08 that you will put. 104 here, because it is more, you will add. So 104 plus 2 is 106. So your answer is 10608. So let's try one example with all of you. So I'll get closer to this number itself. Instead of 104 and 102, let's try 103 and 101. 103 into 101. Give me the answer. 3 into 1? 03. Remember, that's very important. Okay. 03 you put. Then 100? 10403. That's the answer. Wonderful. So you get this concept, right? So Nikilam Navataha Charamam Dashataha. That is the sutra. Okay. So all from 9. Last. This sutra is not applied for that. There are 16 sutras which are applied for different things. Here you will either add or subtract, and the number should be closer to whole numbers. That's the rule. Okay. So this is some examples of Vedic mathematics through which we can actually do a lot of calculations mentally itself. We don't need a paper, we don't need a pen, we can happily do. We'll do one where the numbers are lesser. So let us try 96 and 92. 96 into 92. So 96 you will get 4, 92 is 8, so 8832. Okay, I have to, all of you are getting the same answer, 8832. Okay, wonderful. So give a big hand. So it can be that straightforward and simple. Okay. Okay. So all these are some of the ways where we interpret our slokas, where we apply numbers to slokas, and the extension of that, where numbers were used in sutras, was the Vedic mathematics, which has 16 sutras. Some examples where we can apply it practically today and even pass aptitude exams possibly, right? For children, speed is the essence, where they quickly do it, it is easy to grasp and they can apply it. So now we move on to the next Vedanga, which is called as Nirukta. Okay, Nirukta can be called as science of etymologies, lexicography, semantics. Everything is there under that huge umbrella. And this is taken as the Veda Purusha's ears. Okay, it is very important because in our Sanatana Dharma, in our eternal wisdom, what is important is how each word is interpreted. For example, the word go is there. Go. Go can be interpreted in 15 different ways. Go can mean a cow. Go can mean the world. Go can mean indriyas. Several different meanings are there. Swami Sri Vedanta Deshika, in his Goda Stuti, has used 12 of the 15 meanings of go to apply to Goda Devi herself. Right? Such a beautiful stotramala it is. So, go shabda can be interpreted in different ways. How do we know what is the correct interpretation? How do you understand the context? How do we infer what this actual word means? Right? So, all that is through the Nirukta. And this was for the Veda mantras itself. Because they had a Nikandu, they had the list of words. How do we understand these words? Through the ears. So, that was the application of Nirukta. So, Nirukta, Maharishi Yaska, actually, he was a Maharishi even before the Paninian times. And he gave us the Niruktas, which is, as I said, it can be semantics, it can be lexicography, it can be called as etymology, because today we do not have a word equivalent to what our Maharishi did. So it is an umbrella of all these things. So he created 12 adhyayas where Samskrita has a dhatu for everything. It has a root word. To that you can add prefixes, you can add suffixes, you can have anvayas, non-declinables, to keep creating newer and newer words. So with all that, a lot of interesting words were created, interpreted. For example, if we look at the word Agni, we do all the Yajna Yagas in Agni. Why do we do Yajna Yagas in Agni? Agni is interpreted as Agre Nayati iti Agnihi. It is the one which is going to take you forward. Agre Nayati Ataha Agni. So, such a beautiful interpretation. We learnt about Krishna, right? I said, Akarshati iti Krishna. All attractive. Karshayati, he attracts. Akarshayati, we cannot stop it. When Bhagavan decides to attract us, we just go behind him. Akarshati iti Krishna. We saw the Sri Rama slokanam. Ramayati iti Ramaha. Ram dhatu means happiness. Rama is the one who generates happiness wherever, right? So, he is Rama because Ramayati iti Ramaha. Right? Mukundaha. Moksham dadati. If somebody wants moksha, where do they go? They go to Mukunda. So that is the interpretation of Mukunda. So a lot of words like this. Sudhiraha. Dhira means, that steadfastness, being wise. Su, when it is prefixed with the word su, what happens is it becomes all the more, it enhances that. So, Sudhiraha is a person who is completely steadfast. So, Anusha. Anusha. What happens here is Usha means Ushat Kala, early in the morning. Anu means that which follows. So, Ushat Kala, early morning dawn time, the time which follows dawn time. Anu, it follows, which means it's light, brightness, right? So, Anusha means brightness. So that is the way we interpret it. Every word has a very different, very interesting meaning. Kripa, compassionate. Durga is actually a word where no negative can come near it, which means that's the protective force. So words like these make so much of meaning. But now what happens is, because we do not know the meanings, we shorten the names. Think about it. Anusha will become Anu. Anu means follow. Anusha means that which follows the light. Light is, the dawn time is the main thing. Anusha means dawn time is followed by this, because of which it is light. But now the name becomes Anu, which means follow. What is the meaning of that? A lot of words like that. Let's speak of some interesting words of Bhagavan. Parthasarathi. A very interesting name, which is derived from two words. Partha. Partha, it's a very complex word, Parthasarathi, because Partha means son of Pritha. Pritha is the mother of Partha. Kunti Devi's maiden name was Pritha. So Partha means it is Arjuna. Sarathi, Rati means the king. Sarathi means the one who takes the king. So Krishna was a Sarathi, means he was the charioteer of Arjuna. So Partha Sarathi means charioteer of Pritha's son, which refers to Krishna. Now when a person's name is Partha Sarathi, we end up calling him Partha. So instead of Krishna's name, it becomes Arjuna's name. Think about what mess happens. At least this is okay. Arjuna is a devotee of Krishna. Murari. Murari means Mura is the name of an asura. Similarly, Madhusudana. Madhu is the name of the asura. Mura plus Ari. Ari means enemy. So the enemy of Mura is Bhagavan Krishna. Madhusudana, the one who killed Madhu Asura, is Bhagavan Krishna. So instead of Murari or Madhusudana, when we say Mur or Madhu, the entire meaning is gone. We start addressing the person as an Asura instead of Bhagavan Krishna. So we have to be very careful in how we use the names, because names have so much of meaning. Harar Harati Papani. All these are because of the Nirukta that we are discussing now. It gives you the interpretation. Words can be completely, brief in Sanskritam. In English, we say, he is Dasharatha's son. In Sanskritam, you will say Dasharati. Vasudevasya apatyam puman Vasudevaha. Instead of calling Krishna as Vasudeva's son, if you say Vasudeva, it means Krishna. So instead of saying Vasudeva, if you say Vasudeva, Vasudeva stole butter. Think about it. The whole meaning changes. Vasudeva cannot steal butter, right? He was the king there. Krishna was the one who stole butter. So Vasudeva stole butter. So it is very important to give importance to this Hrasva, Dirgha, everything. As I was telling earlier, Krishna can mean two different things. Rama can mean two different things. Rama is Bhagavan Rama. Rama means Mata Mahalakshmi. Both are two different words. All these are, got its derivatives. The Nirukta explains these things. Now what happens is, because of wrong interpretation, a lot of negatives that we do not know actually comes into our thing. Now this little kid is coming inside this room. We have a door which can accommodate her to come in. But when Britishers came into this, their mouth, the door, could not accommodate our kind of Samskrita words. So what happened during the invasion time? They decided to chop the different aspects which did not enter their mouth. If the door is not able to accommodate a big person, we have to have a bigger door, right? Instead, making the person squeeze themselves into it. What happens? They chop the hands. Sometimes they even chop the neck, bring the person inside. The life is lost. The essence is lost. Bharatam. Basu Rataha Bharatam. Our country's name. Bha means effulgence, knowledge. Rata means those who are immersed in it. We are people who are immersed in knowledge. Knowledge gives us happiness. Knowledge makes us thrive. Knowledge makes us live. But what happened? Bharatiyas who were immersed in this knowledge, everything was changed. We were no more called as Bharatiya. It was difficult for them. India. What is the meaning? Indu Rasaha, I don't know. So, Bharatiya, we were called as Bharatiyas for a reason. The Bhasha, which has all this, is Sanskritam. Samyak Kritam Sanskritam. The one which is perfectly made, because it has been from rishis, it's been from time immemorial. So, whatever is in Sanskrit Bhasha is perfect, does not need any alteration. That became Sanskrit. San, we all know, means nothing. The beautiful girl sans mercy. There is a poem like that, right? So, La Bella Dame sans mercy. The beautiful girl who does not have mercy. Sans means without. Sanskrit means which is not created properly. It is a crime to address the Bhasha as Sanskrit. It is Samskrita Bhasha. So changing the name can change a lot of things. So here, if you notice, I have a few words like that. Sanskritam, Bharatam, Dehali became Delhi. Dehali had a meaning, right? In fact, Dehali is a stuti. Swami Vedanta Deshika's great work, Dehali is a stuti is there. We have so many words like that. Mahishapuram. So Mahishapuram stood for Mahishasura Madhini. So like this, Punya Pattanam. Any idea what that place is? Punya Pattanam. Today it is called as Pune, as if there are cats. There was a place called Tintrini Vanam. Today we call it Dindi Vanam. Tintrini means the puli, tamarind. Tintrini Vanam. Bijapur. Bija means the guava fruit, right? It has a lot of seeds in it. So the place where a lot of guava fruits were there, Bijapuram. Everything. Best is Bhagya Nagaram. What place is that? The place which is filled with Bhagya. Today it's become bad. Hyderabad. Punyapatanam Pune, Hyderabad, Bhagya Nagaram. So all these interpretations, the root, the essence of that place is actually gone. Right? So many places were named after the deities. From that place itself, we could understand what was there. But when we change the word, the entire meaning goes. Kalidasa, in one of his great Mahakavya, Raghuvamsha says, Vagartha viva samprittau, Vagartha pratipartaye. Vak and Artha, they go together. Vak and Artha is like a person and its shadow. The words and meaning are always tied up together. So, one without the other does not make sense. So, Nirukta basically gives that where the meaning, the interpretation, the application of words, what is the root for it, how we go about expanding it, everything is there. Sanskritam is one of the most beautiful languages for that. For example, heart, hridaya, we say, right? In Tamil, we call it hridayam. Sanskritam, hridaya. Hridaya explains the function of the heart. It's a definition, it's not just a word. Hridaya. 3 alphabets make up this word. Hri, harati, means takes. Dadati, gives. Yati, transports, propels. What is the function of the heart? That which takes, that which propels or transports, that which gives. That's the function of the heart. For how, even recently, they say heart was pumping blood. No. Ours is very clear, which says harati dadati ati. It takes, it transports, and it gives, it reaches. So that is hridaya. So many words like this. With one final sloka, I want to conclude for the day. This is a very interesting situation where many rishis were walking in the Mahabharata times. This sloka is from Mahabharata. The rishis were walking and they were seeing many plants and trees whenever they walked. It was all filled with nature, right? So one of the rishis explains how these plants survive, because all of us need so much of food. We go hunting for food everywhere. We are hungry, we have to go. What do these fruits do? And a glimpse of osmosis can be seen in this. So, Vakrenot Palanalena, Edodvam Jalamaadatet, Tatha Pavana Samyuktaha, Padaihi Pibati Padapaha. Multiple things can be seen in this sloka. The example, usually when we give an example, it means We know the concept given as an example very well. We are very clear about it. That is why we use it as an example to explain something which we are not clear about, right? So here they are giving an example of a coconut. Okay, they are saying the way people use a straw to drink the coconut water. So what was used as a straw? They said the lotus stem, right? That is used as a straw. Think about it, organic straws were used. Straws was not invited by any other country people. Our rishis were speaking about straws. And what did they say? It is used to pull water from beneath. Bhaktretod palanalena yadodvam jalamadate. Water comes up because of that. So the concept of straw, organic straw, disposable, no plastic wastage, nothing. The rishis are speaking about this. Water comes up. Tatha pavana samyuktaha, along with the wind. What do the plants do? Padaihi pibati padapaha. These plants, how do they get their source of water? Padaihi pibati. Pada means the foot. Our body is divided into 4 parts. The lowest 1/4 is called as pada. In the case of plants, it will be the roots of the plants. Padaihi pibati. Those which drink through its foot, we drink to our mouth. Padaihi pibati, those which drink through the foot, their name itself is Padapa, Nirukta. Padaihi pibati Padapaha. So the Padapa is a name for the plant because they drink from their feet. How beautiful. So and they very clearly said Pavana Samyukta, along with the wind, the plants actually survive. So the concept of osmosis, the concept of straws existing during the Mahabharata times, how they were using organically and how they named everything. Every akshara has a meaning. Every word has a meaning. Aksharanam akarosmi, it says Krishna, right? I am in the aksharas. So all these are part of our understanding of Nirukta. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैव बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रहृदे स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. जय श्री कृष्ण.